I'm here at the Total Health Show, and we're going to get the raw facts about the raw foods as an element in getting better health. I'm talking to Markus here, and he's got a new way of living. Markus, tell us some of the things we need to know, say, in the springtime to get healthier using raw foods.
It's funny, this really isn't a new way of living. This is the way all living creatures on the planet live and have been for millions of years. We're the only species that's kind of messed up. We're the only species that cooks its food, processes its food. I mean, all the other animals, they just take a bush and they just eat off of it. They're fine. We have to take something, grind it up, liquefy it, powder it,
play with it on TV shows,
put it in a bag, box, bottle. And we're the only species that gets heart disease, diabetes, leukemia, you name it. And the only animals that get those diseases are the ones that are fed by man or eat the garbage left over by man. So all I'm doing is just reminding people to get back to the way nature designed us to live. And that's when the problems start going away. I mean, I've been doing this for years now, including myself. I had all kinds of health problems. And
what was your challenge?
I was dying. Back in the 20s, when I was in my late 20s, picture me here, I don't know if you can see it. My heart was giving out. I was, bleeding when I went to the bathroom. My glasses thicker than the windshield of my car. I mean, you name it, I had it. I was really bad. And I didn't know what to do. I just gave up and went to the desert and started over. And it's just common sense. You just kind of know that an apple's better for you than a pizza or something. But, okay, let's take an apple, for example. You take the apple and you plant it in the ground, you get an apple tree. If you take, here's this is an apple.
A real apple.
For those of you who don't know what an apple looks like,
yes.
This is an apple. If I took this and planted it in the ground, you get an apple tree. If you bake the apple, if you make apple pie out of it, if you make, you microwave, you nuke it, you boil it, and then you plant it in the ground, what happens? Nothing. It's dead. Well, what happened? Why is that not growing life anymore? Well, the secret is if you take a living food and you eat it, you get life. If you kill the food and then you try to eat it, you're going to die pretty soon because there's not a lot of life force left in it. There's a lot of people say, well, it's enzymes, whatever. I don't care. The point is there's no life in the food anymore.
So that's the secret. It's got to be, have to have life in it.
I'm not going to get into scientific explanations here, but that's how you sum it up. Plus, when you bake or you cook something, you're actually increasing the sugar content. The whole molecular structure of this thing changes. It's not even an apple anymore. Even though it looks like one, it's not. So I'm reconnecting people with the way we are designed to live. And when you live this way, whatever you have, whatever kind of health condition you have, odds are you're going to be a hell of a lot better when you start living this way. Actually, diseases start going away. I don't even know what it's like to be sick anymore. I'm 50 this year, and I look a lot younger than I did 20 years ago. And that's what I'm here. I'm just like reconnecting people with the truth.
It's springtime now here at the Total Health Show. What kind of spring raw foods should one consider in the springtime?
Well, this is the perfect time because all the plants are coming to life. They're coming out of the ground, and it's like the best time to eat plants is when they're young, not when they're big and got big starchy leaves. So that's why I made the Free Food Medicine DVD set. It's all about the wild plants, recognizing the stuff that's growing in your area, and recognizing what they are, because every living thing on the planet has a purpose. All plants have a purpose, even the poisonous ones. You just have to know what that purpose is and how you can use it in your life. Some of them you cannot eat straight, but they're really powerful, like cancer medicine, for example. Some of them you can eat straight, and they're good for, a million things. I could go through all kinds of different conditions, bowel conditions, cleaning your liver, cleaning your lungs, whatever. But each plant has something that's really intended for healing you in some way. So I'm reconnecting people and showing them, what the plant is, what it looks like, and what it does. And you can use it as a food or a medicine. And of course, the Medical Association doesn't want you to know this stuff, but this is the way all other living beings on the planet live. And it's just important to reconnect people with that.
Okay.
And I also have this thing here. This is another one. This is the follow-up to that. It's Free Living 101. This is about a guy who lives in Etobicoke, which is a subdivision here. He actually lives in a subdivision, like a house next to another house, next to another house. He doesn't live in the woods, and he doesn't need a job, and he doesn't need to go to a grocery store, and he only eats what grows within 1 mile of where he lives in that subdivision, and he doesn't pay anything for it. Like, he walks down the street, like, takes pine needles off the trees, and he makes tea out of it. So he's got got the weeds, the dandelion, the mallow, the burdock growing in his yard, and he takes those and he makes food and medicine out of it. And anybody can live like this. It doesn't cost anything. And he hasn't been sick in who knows how long. I mean, you heal. And as far as, and he also shows in the set, by the way, how he can pay for his house, his car, and his everything else by just recycling. So there's natural ways of doing everything without having to rely on the world outside you to tell you how to live.
Excellent. Okay, your website, Markus, to find out more?
Beautifylife.com.